7:55 p.m. I was shopping at the South Everett Mall Way Goodwill. I was towards the back of the store. A lady was being pretty, verbally like abusive towards me. She was yelling some profane things. I tried to get out by going towards the exit. Unfortunately, that is also where it was. But her friend and herself with their cart blocked me, chest bumped me, pushed me, and then about less than a minute later on the security tape, it shows her, I guess it was her like son-in-law, Michael Salazar, come up, and he pushed me down to the ground, and then he threw about 10 punches that were shown on tape on me. I called the police. When they did arrive, they were all very helpful, perfectly nice, until the only female officer who was there at the scene, when she came in and when she talked to me, she made it clear from the get-go that there was no way I was going to press charges. There was no way she was going to arrest the ladies. And as for the gentleman who was with them, he had ran from the police, so he left before they got there. My girlfriend who was with me, she tried to make a statement to the officers. She would not ever let her write it down, so she had to go home and then write it down after I was arrested. I tried to write down a statement. She said no way. The witnesses tried to write down statements, and there was a lot of witnesses there. And as the tape shows, this was a big public scene. Nobody got to write down any statements except for the two ladies who were pushing me around and the officer. I was arrested. I was sent into the back of the car. She kneed me in the groin like a little bit. I don't know if she was doing it to just taunt me or to actually hurt me. She was snapping her fingers at me in my face, trying to get me to pay attention and to stop lying to her, which I wasn't. As the tape later on showed that I was actually being very honest with her. When I did go to jail.
Hey, Mr. Driscoll, can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I have a couple of questions. Mm-hmm. You keep referring to this tape, and I believe I may have talked to you previously. Did you send us the tape? Do you have the tape?
My lawyer has it, and it's on YouTube.
Okay. I need you to send me the link to that tape, immediately.
Okay. What is the address that I send this to?
Okay. You can send it to help@policeabuse.com.
help@policeabuse.com. Okay. I'm on my computer right now, and I will do that right now.
Okay, great. And the reason I need that is because this story is really simple, and I think we can unravel this thing. If you were to try to tell someone what happened to you, and I'm reading your complaint right now, and I must have talked to you because I remember the case, but if you were to try to explain this to someone at a bus stop or a restaurant or wherever you might be, there's a lot moving around, but if you actually just have time to organize it and put the evidence in a place where someone can see it, this cop has some real problems. I mean, I get a lot of complaints about police officers not doing their job, and sometimes they're warranted and sometimes they're not. But this is a complaint where not only did the officer appear not to do her job, but she got angry that she was being asked to do it. And which leads me to the next thing that happened. You actually got arrested.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got arrested.
What did they charge you with?
They charged me with assault, one. It was dropped because of the tape, so the prosecution said, well, I have to drop it because I can't go to trial and have the only person pressed with charges be the only victim, too. So I'm not going to waste my time.
So wait, stop there. So you were beaten, you were punched in the face about 10 times.
Oh, yes.
It says in the report, and that's on the tape.
Oh, yes. Yes. The tape isn't as perfect when it comes to the size of the people in the tape, because I'm in the upper left-hand corner when this whole thing happened. But the tape was also it was authenticated by a person that was named Kent, and he is the head of security, and he did actually authenticate it with my public defender. and so he can vouch for what little figures in the tape are who or what they are.
Okay, so let me just go through what's on the tape. To walk me through what happened as you remember it without looking at the tape right now. Tell me what anyone would see if they were watching the tape right at this moment.
Okay. The entire incident happens in the top left-hand corner. In fact, there's actually on the YouTube comments. I actually walk you through it, and I say, look at the top left-hand corner. I'm the guy walking back and forth, and the guy who assaulted me at this time, and at this time, and at this time, and at this time. So I have all of the times documented in the tape too. Well, not actually in the tape, but in the comment section. So it shows at like this time, my girlfriend, who's 4'9", goes in there and tries to get in the middle of it, and then he slaps her twice too. And so it shows all that.
What do you mean? Hold on. So the guy punched your girlfriend as well?
Yes. And of course, she asked if she could press charges, and she was told no.
So let me back up. Let me make sure that I have the story straight, because when we file this complaint, this is really pretty. Make sure I got it. Mm-hmm. You had an incident where you had some sort of run-in with another person. The other person's family member shows up and actually physically assaults you, punches you in the face 10 times, punches your girlfriend twice. The police arrive, and initially they're very nice, and they're talking to you, and they're going to take a report. And then this one female officer arrives, and once she gets on the scene, she stops all the action in terms of the investigation, and then turns on you and tells you that no one's going to take a report, and then threatens you with arrest, and then arrests you.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And you repeatedly told her, because this is what you say in your report that I'm looking at, that you told her that there was a videotape, that there was evidence, and that she needed to interview everybody there.
Right, I did, and she would not take the tape. I had to be bailed out of jail by my girlfriend, and then the very next day drive down to the Goodwill and asked to speak to the security department, and they said, yeah, how can we help you? And I said, the tape from last night, can I have it? And they said, yeah, sure, it's about time. And then they even called and had like an officer come and pick it up and put it into like evidence, I guess. And I just now
let me stop for a second, Mr. Driscoll. This is what I want to catch right now and make a point in your investigation, because I think that if I go forward with this case on a more substantial level, someone needs to hear this in this initial recording, because I have a few assessments, and I want to make sure that I'm correct in what I'm assessing after I get the facts right. Are you actually telling me that at the end of all this, where there's that clear evidence that you were the victim, you've been punched in the face, your girlfriend had been punched, that at the end of all that, the officer not only refuses to look into it, but then arrests the wrong person, meaning she arrested you, and there was a tape proving it the entire time?
Oh, yes.
And the people at Goodwill were actually looking forward to releasing the tape to someone so that the truth would come out.
He gave a copy to myself, and he also gave a copy to the Everett police.
Okay. All right. Now we can pretty much establish a few things. If everything that you just told me is true, I'm going to tell you that as an investigator and as an expert who's done investigations, that this investigation was mishandled, that there simply isn't any excuse that an assault charge shouldn't have been brought against this woman. If the DA's office didn't want to proceed, that's their business. But as a police officer, there's more than enough evidence to make an arrest.